Hey, it's Mike at You Are The Path. So in this video, I want to talk about self-regard, which is really self-love. I want to talk about that because usually this time of the year, we overindulge and there can be a tendency to feel like, oh, I've lost it now. You may feel that you'd attained a certain state, a certain momentum, where you might be engaging in healthy eating, healthy habits, maybe going to the gym, or you've had a good routine going, and then the holidays hit, we get drawn into overindulging, which I enjoy to indulge myself a little bit, relax, let my hair down, so to speak. But then there can be a tendency to overdo it, and then you have this dialogue with yourself where you're feeling like, oh, I've lost it now, I've fallen off the wagon and I've got to get it back. What do we mean by get it back? What is it we feel that we've lost? Have we really lost anything? And when I say that, I'm talking about self-regard. I'm talking about that love that you can have for yourself, regardless of your actions. So it's separating the action from who and what you really are. That self-regard for yourself, that you are always it. Seeking that connection with existence, whether you call that God or Zen, or you're a Taoist, or you're connecting with that oneness, all that is. It's not something you can lose. It's not something that you can lose, so to speak. It's always there with you. It's there with you now as you hear my voice, as you watch this video. It can't be lost. We can lose sight of it, but we have only to open up our eyes to see that it's there. And when you have that self-regard, when you have that self-love, you can take life with a grain of salt, and you don't lose that sense of humour. And with humour comes a relaxation, a letting go, so you're not gripping hold so tightly to the image of what you feel you ought to be. And we can get drawn down that path because we seek acceptance from society. So don't beat yourself up if you catch yourself being drawn into that, because I catch myself getting drawn into that, this image of me and all that comes with that. I started to look at my problems as challenges, started to look at them as lessons, and I used my fear as a catalyst to become more of what I really am. And I used my fears as an adventure. My life has been very much like when you're tuning into a radio station. You know, if you've got one of those really old analog radios and you turn in the knob to tune in, and if it's one of those really old ones, you can tune it in, you go too far one way, and then you try and you go too far the other way. You're trying to get a good signal so you can hear this radio station. Now let's say this radio station's playing a real sweet, beautiful classical music, and when you listen to that music, everything's flowing, you feel free, you have that ability to be more of who you really are, synchronicities are flowing. So, but it's a learning process, because you might go too far one way, and that could represent falling into old habits, or you might fall into the old habits and you go the other way to total repression, where you're repressing all of the desires you have, and it's like a pendulum. So you swing from overindulgence to repression. So what I'm doing right now is finding that healthy middle ground. And finding that middle ground is very much a willingness to respect reality and to really see what is, so that I'm not swinging on this pendulum. So don't beat yourself up, because this is what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to tune in to find that center. And I put it out on my videos that what helps me to do that is eating healthily, is watching Dan the Man. And I always watch him when I feel like I need to get back into eating healthy. And it's doing breath work, doing yoga, all those kind of things help to create the circumstances for that clarity, to create the circumstances so that you know that you are it, that you are that creation, that divinity. But it's always there. But these modalities prepare the soil for that to flower within us. So the videos are always going to be, they're always going to have that angle to it of health. And I put my slant on positive psychology and stuff like that. Not beating yourself up is really a real big part of it, is letting go of the guilt. It doesn't do you any good. And letting go of the shame. It doesn't mean that you don't use that experience to strengthen your resolve to do it differently. But not constantly beating yourself in the head for what you did, because we're all doing it. We're all trying to find, tuning ourselves in. And it's something that we share. It's that shared humanity. And that's what I'm trying to create here with this YouTube channel, this shared humanity, that we're all going through our own challenges. An important aspect of healing is to be able to be in the presence of someone who allows you the space to be with what you're going through right now, to be dealing with what you're dealing with, whatever it be, a relationship challenge, battling with your vices, addictions. You may feel that you've lost control of yourself, and there may be self-doubt with you, doubting yourself, doubting whether you measure up. And that's okay. It's making that okay to be where you are. And then when you make it okay to be where you are, and you kind of accept, okay, this is where I am, and then you can start to work with it, to work with what you have, because it's not really about having more, it's about what you do with what you have. And I've been very grateful to have a loving family where I've been able to be with the family, and it's okay. I was insecure at a time in my life, felt very inadequate as a man. I didn't feel like I measured up as a man, but I could be with family and friends and they didn't shine a torch on me. It's when someone tries to fix you, or you're watching videos where they're saying you've got to do it this way and don't be doing that, dogma, and making you feel wrong somehow. And again, it doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to encourage you to change and do it differently, but it's more an offering on my videos. So I'm going to leave it there. Sometimes I may disappear for a bit, but that's because I don't want my videos to be just me rambling. Sometimes I may upload a video like that, but I like them to be pertinent. I like them to be relevant, to the point, authentic, and coming from my heart. All of your comments encourage me to keep going with this. And I know I don't get back to all of them, but I'm going to be doing my best to get more involved with you and support you when I can. Hope you're getting something from this. Keep going, just don't give up. Just don't give up. Sometimes you just gotta stop, look out the window, take time to breathe, put the kettle on, sip some tea, get a sheet of paper, start to use your imagination, imagining that I can turn it around, I can make it different. Peace, guys. Catch you later.